Buongiorno, come stai? Benvenuto a Reginaldesq. Mi chiamo Andhook and this is my review of the Tier 2 Italiano light tank, the L6/40. So is it any good? It's pretty average. It isn't the kind of tank that you're going to be able to carry games in, but it is actually a bit of fun. The gun is pretty good. I quite like it. Has a quick aiming time, 1.6 seconds, which is always a big advantage, having quick aiming time. The turret traverse is really good at 42, which makes it one of the better traversing turrets. And the track traverse is 56. So fast tanks can't circle you. You can always keep your gun on them. But unfortunately, the gun doesn't have a lot of penetration. We'll have a look at that in a minute. It does have a view range of 320 meters, which is pretty good. That's up there with the best of them, so you can spot things. I have binoculars and camouflage net fitted, so I can do a bit of spotting with this. And I also have a repair kit fitted, and that's just because I didn't want to spend money on a slot for a tier 2 tank. The problem with this gun is it drops off very quickly. It has a maximum range of 400 meters, like a lot of these multi-fire cannons do. So if it's further than 400 meters away, you actually physically cannot penetrate it. But also the gun penetration drops off really quickly. I had an M2 light. I was trying to reset cap. I was about 200 meters away and I couldn't penetrate its front or its sides. It was only when it turned its back to me, I hit it with about 6 rounds in the back and one of them penetrated, doing 11 damage. Managed to reset cap temporarily, but then I couldn't penetrate it again. It just sat there still, side onto me, and I just couldn't get a shot into it. So yeah, that is an issue in this tank, and that's against another tier 2 tank. In some tier 3 tanks, you just can't really do much to them. But the gun is fun though, because it fires 12 rounds, and it fires them, I think it's 4 3-shot bursts. Actually, let's have a quick look at the gun here. So 12 shots in a magazine, and it only takes 0.25 of a second they fire between shots, which is obviously very quick. So then you've got 3.5 seconds to completely reload the magazine, which is really quick. So you basically, after you've done your 12 shots, you don't have to wait very long at all to reload. So potentially, this tank can do a lot of damage. But with the quick firing, of course, you're losing accuracy during the firing. So and if you're at anything but very close range, you're missing with most of your shots anyway. But it can be pretty devastating at close range if your shots hit and penetrate. And you can actually pretty much eliminate an entire tank with a single load if you're lucky. 38 millimeters of penetration isn't a lot, and for example, the M2 light has 38 millimeters or 39 millimeters of armor frontally. That's its minimum armor. I think it goes up to like 40 something on the front. So you can't penetrate a lot of time M2 lights of some of those sort of tanks, and that's at tier 2. So then at tier 3, there's some you're just never going to penetrate. 11 damage per round. 0.47 dispersion is of course pretty terrible, but that's common on a tier 2 tank. And as I said, the 1.6 second aim time is great. So it can be fun. It's not super quick either. Its top speed is here 42.3 kilometers an hour, 15 in reverse. Neither of those is fast for a light tank. It's not the slowest, but it's definitely not up there with the fast ones. So you don't have much armor, and when you get into trouble, you really can't escape. You're kind of relying on your gun to get you out of trouble, and the gun, if they have armor, can't do anything either, so you just become a sitting duck. If you can penetrate them well, then you can try and blow them away. So yeah, it's kind of a fun tank. 170 hit points is not too bad. 30 mils of armor frontally, and 15 on the sides, and that goes for the turret as well as the lower plate and driver's plate here. But really, most tanks can get through that. So this has 38 mils of pen, so it could get through itself, if that helps you understand it. But at range, you might bounce some multi-cannon shells. Let's now get in and have a look at the gameplay. My crew is 100% trained, so they don't really have any skills to speak of, but they're 100% trained. If you're thinking about going up the tech tree, you've got a choice here between this light tank here or a medium, and then all the rest of the tanks in a line are mediums. It kind of makes sense to go to the medium and not this light tank, because you'll be training a medium tank crew, and there's I think this medium tank has, I think it's got 4 crew in it. whereas this light tank here only has the 2 people, so it kind of makes sense to get the medium and basically skip this tank, but you might want to play it for a bit of fun. Let's have a look at the gameplay and get into it. The map is Abbey, and let's change this from names to tanks. It's a tier 2 game. There's only, I think there's 12 tanks on each team. Tier 2 only. I'm currently on the Hong Kong server. You can see my ping is about 300 at the moment. It does drop a bit lower soon. There's no Singapore server anymore. They got rid of it and replaced it with the Hong Kong server, which is better for players in Japan and China, but it's worse for everyone else. However, we do have our own Australian server. But on the Australian server, you cannot get a game in tier 2. Nobody plays tier 2. There's only usually, even in peak time, there's the most players you get on the Australian server is about 1,500. I just got shot in the back there by my teammate on the hill. Yeah, so the most you would have would be 1,500 players. Like right now on Saturday, middle of the day or afternoon, Saturday afternoon, it's about 1,000 players. In peaks, it can get up to 1,500, whereas the southeast, the Hong Kong server can get up to about anywhere from sort of 9,000 during peak times to about 15,000 during peak times. So there you see there, we let the gun go and we bounce a lot off his front. I'm having trouble due to the bit of lag I'm getting aiming this gun. You can see the gun sort of seems to be floating all over the joint. It does have good turret traverse and good track traverse, this tank, but just with the lag I'm getting it's floating around a bit. Our ping is down lower now. It's down about 140, 120, 140, but yeah, it's not that good. Okay, this guy's coming around. I bet you're going to start like pre-firing. Because it's the 3 shots at once, you can kind of do that. You get a lot of shots. So we get that guy. So far the only damage I've taken is from my teammate. Thank you so much. But we have actually managed to bounce 94 points of damage. So obviously somebody else was firing a multi-cannon on us and our 30 mils of armor was enough to stop it somehow. Moving up now to try and do a bit of spotting with my binoculars. Bit worried that that tree in front of me is actually blocking any spotting I might be doing. Wait for binoculars to kick in and we're not seeing anything, so that's not good. I'll move forward a bit more just to make sure this other tree isn't blocking my view, but really it's the building that's in the way anyway. See here that there's a tank on our right here, this Panzer 2D down the bottom there. I might go through this little door here. My teammate's going to go in here, so I'll go the other way. Get a chance to test out the gun depression now. I'm pretty sure it said 10 degrees of gun depression. I got spotting damage on that Panzer 2D. I don't know how I got the spotting damage, but anyway. Wow. So you can see some of those shots went in. Some of them actually bounced off the back of the tank. Oh dear. Hopefully he comes out and we get some more shots. Here he comes. A lot of those are going in. Most of those are going in. Some bounce, but most of them went in. Will we reload in time? No, we won't get the kill. So as you can see, the gun's kind of fun. Even, you know, just sort of spraying the ammo around, it's kind of can be good fun. Yeah, so on the Australian server, no one plays tier 2, so you can't get a tier 2 game. That's why I'm having to play on the Hong Kong server. And on the Hong Kong server, as you can see, there's only 12 in this game, so sometimes you can't get a full game. So I think the game maybe is dying a bit in the region, and not a lot of players. So yeah, not a lot of new players anyway. The other thing to bear in mind is with these tier 2 tanks, tier 2 is probably, I think, if you've got sort of an average sort of a tier 2 tank, it's probably one of the hardest tiers to play at the moment. So what we're shooting at now is us. We're shooting at another L640, so it's exactly the same tank as us. And as you can see, all of our rounds there bounced. So even though it has 30 mils of armor on the front, 15 on the sides, it's enough to bounce itself at, what are we? We're about 200 meters now. We're probably maybe 220, 230 when we were shooting it before, and you can see the penetration drops off a lot. So supposedly 39 millimeters of penetration, but of a range at around 250 meters, it won't penetrate 15 mils. And I find that really anything above 150 mils on this gun is useless. And really, if you want to get your full penetration, you need to be within about 30 metres, which for a tank with not very good armour isn't great, and not good speed either. But the gun is interesting and a little bit of fun. So the other thing about having the short range gun is that if you are planning on doing some spotting, you can do the spotting, but you won't be able to shoot anybody, simply because I just noticed there was a tank behind me which I spotted on the way through. I don't think I even realised it was there during the gameplay, because he could just drive up now and shoot me in the back. Anyway, as you can see there, we couldn't penetrate that other guy. This guy we are penetrating. What range are we at? We're at about 200 metres, maybe just a tad less. So we were able to penetrate that was it a Panzer II, I think. So that guy behind me is being killed now. I think they've only got one tank left, and it's artillery. And we've got no chance of getting to the other side, so I decided to try and make my way around to the right, maybe follow the other guys up. Have a look at this, even the grapevines are slowing my tank down. I can barely push through, almost stop as I go through each one. Oh dear. Oh, the game's over, they got him. So that turned out to be a Class 2 game. We hit a few tanks, not too bad. We finished on top, actually, for our team with 553 XP, which was what a Class 2, wasn't it? 335 damage. Shots fired, 93. Of the 93 we fired, 52 hit. Of the 52 to hit, 31 penetrated. Now that's a Tier 2 only game. Now at least half of the games on the server at the moment are Tier 3. Probably a bit more. So you can imagine what happens against Tier 3 tanks. Damage blocked, 94. Somehow we managed to block some damage. I guess a bit like that other one of us blocked us from long range, and maybe someone was shooting us from long range. Vehicle spotted 2. We damaged 6, destroying 2, which is not bad really. And it's actually pretty good income for a low tier tank. 10 grand profits, not too bad. Alright, so this time we're on Reginaldesq, and it's a Tier 3 game. I thought I'd better show you a Tier 3 game, since most of your games are going to be against Tier 3. There's only 3 maps. It's Abbey, which we just played, Reginaldesq, this one, and Mines. They seem to be the only 3 maps for Tier 2 these days. And yeah, against Tier 3 we're going to have to be a little bit careful. And you never know what you're going to get in Tier 2, because a lot of the sort of traditional spots where people go at high tiers, in low tiers a lot of time it just doesn't happen. And you also of course have your SEAL clubbers who load up gold ammo, have a fantastic crew, they jump in their Tier 2 tank and they just zoom around the map in a fast tank, catch everyone by surprise and blasting them. Anyway, we've caught this guy out in the open. He is us, folks, that's one of us. But you can see some of the shots are going in, we're getting even orange indicators there. The thickest armour is 30 and we have 39 mils of pen, so the fact that we're getting orange indicators there on relatively flat armour at a range of pretty much 200 metres just shows you what this thing's like. Hotchkiss 35, a well armoured tank. We probably won't be able to penetrate. Ooh, I saw a green indicator on the body there, but as you can see the turret, oh, 1 round went in. We got 1 round, so we did 11 damage to that Hotchkiss 35 there. Tier 2 tank, but well armoured Tier 2 tank. See if we can just catch. Yeah, we're getting him now. He's gone straight into the flat plate, a bit closer. So what range was that? That was, say, 180 metres. It seemed to be okay against 30 mils or... We're probably hitting thinner armour than the thickest parts, but anyway. You haven't got a shot on that guy. So as you can see, up here we're doing alright. The tank does have good gun depression and we're able to hide most of the hull. Good thing about this tank is the turret is reasonably small, and at this tier a lot of tanks aren't very accurate, especially if their crew's not fully trained. Now my crew is fully trained in the tank. The main reason I have my fully trained crew in this tank, I put a fully trained crew in this one and the medium because I wanted to be able to compare this and the medium together so you could see, you know, which way is the better way to go. I was kind of going to actually review both tanks simultaneously, but I ended up deciding against it. So we've got this T-56 TMC artillery up there, and as you can see, we can't penetrate it. We got shot in the back there by a, well, actually by that tank right there. Yes, our teammate just shot us in the back because he's such a nice fellow. It's probably an accident. I'm going with it was an accident, okay? We got spotting damage on that T-56 GMC anyway, so I guess that's something. Moving up, so you can see the tank's not like, it's not like horribly slow, but it's definitely not one of the faster tanks. Whoa, and the Bison fortunately misses us. And we just managed to kill it, even though we bounced some shots off it. Now let's see, we've got an orange indicator. Some of the shots are going in. I know he's reloading, he's probably almost reloaded now, so I'm going to get behind the building here. And yep, he misses us. Well done. I still got it, folks. I still got it even at tier 2. And I noticed there that the top part, his superstructure, doesn't have much armor. So I decided to aim for that instead. And that does the job. So what range were we at there? We were at... that's probably, what, about 180 metres. So it looks like if you're under 200 metres, you can penetrate thin armour. Once you get over 200 metres, you pretty much can't penetrate much of anything. Hopefully we can get some shots on this Panzer II here if we get up the hill in time. It's actually not bad up hills. I'm just noticing it's like it's not super slow up hills. And orange indicator. Oh, a couple of them went in and that was enough. Actually, I think only one went in. We did 9 damage. Anyway, I'll take it. Somehow that was a class 1 in the tank. I suppose we hit a few tanks. I guess it was a tier 3 game. That's why we probably did alright out of it. And we finished on top for our team for experience. We only did 296 damage. So, like this Hotchkiss, he did 537. So how I ended up... Because the Hotchkiss is a tier 2 as well, I'm pretty sure. So how I ended up on top, I don't know. Maybe we did a lot of spotting or assist damage. Let's have a look. Well, we did 82 assist damage, which... it's probably a bit at this tier. Well, it's not that much. Okay, I have no idea how we ended up with the class 1 and the best XP in the game. I don't know. Anyway, 90 shots fired, 55 hit, 27 penetrated. Yeah, we did bounce. We bounced a lot. We bounced 3 hits. I don't know how that worked, but it worked. So there you go. 5 damage, 4 destroyed. Mostly we just kill stole, really. We only did like a couple of them, about 10 points of damage to them. Grazie for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to Reginaldesq, and as always, divertiti.